Side, ladies and gentlemen, there's a nefarious pattern emerging to the attacks on Hindus and Hindu symbols in the UK. After Leicester, hate attacks on Hindus have spilled over to Birmingham, where a mass mob of at least 300 people laid siege to a Hindu temple today. They threw bottles and firecrackers at the temple, hurled abuses and even made vulgar gestures at the devotees. Look at these visuals, ladies and gentlemen. Times Now has accessed these exclusive images from the Durga Bhavan Hindu temple in Birmingham that captured the threats and intimidation on camera. The 300-plus mob is heard chanting Allahu Akbar right in front of the Durga Bhavan Hindu temple. Two men even tried to scale the wall of the temple. One of them is caught on camera flashing the devotees. This is the glimpse of this orchestrated hate attack on the symbol of Hinduism. It's not just vulgar actions but open threats which were issued by masked men to the Hindus. Watch this dire warning by a masked man.
This is a message from Birmingham to all the BJP and the RSS Hindufa supporters. You're not welcome in Birmingham. You're not welcome in Leicester. You're not welcome in Nottingham. You're not welcome anywhere in the UK. None of your speakers, anyone you're trying to call these hate speakers that come down, we're going to turn up for all of them. So stop organising. We're here now, outside the Mandir. It's a peaceful protest. We're not causing no trouble. But we turned up just to let you know if you come down, we're all going to be here for you. Look, show them, look around. Even the speakers cancelled. Look how many men have turned up. We've got no issue with Hindus that are from Britain. We've got no issue with British Hindus. We grew up with them, we know all of them. But the rest of you BJP, RSS freshies, if you come in, you're going to get met by us every single time. So if you want to come to Birmingham, Leicester, Nottingham, London, just give us a time and a place and we're there.
The attack on the Hindu community today in Birmingham was pre-planned, ladies and gentlemen. The call to surround the temple was given 24 hours earlier. For hours, chaos prevailed outside the Hindu temple. These eyewitnesses recount the horror that unfolded in front of their eyes. Let's listen.
So they've come and they've started chanting slogans, Allahu Akbar and Nare Takbir, I don't know, these kind of, some slogans I don't understand. Basically being very threatening, very intimidating, trying to climb the gates of the temple, trying to get in. Throwing bricks, throwing firecrackers, throwing bottles. In the end, we had to tell the women and the children to go inside the temple for their own protection and own security. While us youngsters, along with the police, are trying to control the situation outside.
You can understand how family behaves, and they are really worried about the safety. They were targeting that temple yesterday to send out. Or I would use the word terrorize us, really. But police were able to control and disperse them. We were standing our ground without showing any provocation from our side, though a few members were really willing to go out there and talk to them.
It's attacking at this case, in this instance, is him.
Joining me on the debate with Abhijit Iyer Mitra and Tehseen Poonawalla are Anshul Saxena, political strategist, and Anirban Banerjee. And Abhijit Iyer Mitra, I want to ask you, what's the intent of this violence and this attack on Hindus and their temples? It's been growing from Leicester to Birmingham today, and the vulgarity and the planning is shocking, the manner in which this was carried out.
Look, a lot of this, Navika, is carried out with the tacit acceptance of the British state itself. If you remember, the problem started off when the Leicester police, their chief, Paul Allen, put out this thing saying that Hindus had called for death to Muslims, and then he had to publicly retract all of that. Right? Now, there are other stories that have come out saying that Hindus marched through a neighborhood chanting Jai Shri Ram. Now, what is wrong in chanting Jai Shri Ram? Mosques chant La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah all the time. Does anybody go protesting about it? Nobody. So what you're seeing is a radicalization happening here. But notice this is a pattern that is emerging. if you remember either last year or the year before last, there were a bunch of Pakistani-funded protests in London, which ended up damaging our High Commission in London as well, on some Kashmir-related issue. And then you've seen what has happened. There's a complete boycott, a JNF movement, because they invited Shazia Ilmi. And here, apparently in the UK, a temple should not decide who to invite. The temple doesn't have the freedom to invite Sadhvi Ritambara. These people want a veto on what is done by the temple authorities inside the temple and who will speak in the temple. This is your classic Islamofascism in play. It has always been the case. And indeed, if that was a peaceful protest, what was the need for that man to cover his face? He looked like an ISIS terrorist.
And
what is the need to hide who you are?
And isn't this stemming from the Hinduphobia within our own country? And they're playing on these differences. And Tehseen, that is my question to you. The Hinduphobia, the name calling, all this that is spread here literally by the opposition and a certain lobby, so to speak. Isn't that what is spilling over now on international platforms? And, you know, with these kind of warnings and attacks on Hindus in London?
I actually did not want to make this political at all, but now that you asked and blamed the opposition for it, let me just clarify one thing. In my opinion, and I know Anshul, who's a friend, and Abhijit is a friend, and Anshul supports the BJP, I've never seen a weaker union government in the centre. If somebody is intimidating our fellow citizens in the UK, what is the central government doing? What is it doing? In Canada, they had a referendum day before yesterday, and the MP who endorsed the referendum for Khalistan is a conservative MP who Mr. Modi keeps quoting. I'm telling you this, not a liberal MP, a conservative MP. There Biden is upgrading F-16s to Pakistan. Therefore, China has taken our land. Abhijit will tell you in the thing. Mr. Modi has the weakest foreign policy, point number one. Point number two, please answer one question. Why did the police chief out there blame the Sangh Parivar for that? Why did R.K. Singh, a member of the current BJP government, blame the Sangh for terrorists? There is an affidavit put by Yashwant Sindhya of the Sangh saying that Sangh is involved in terrorist activities. So at some point, Mr. Modi must own up with his own people and say, why are you doing this?
So Anshul Saxena, all the convenient arguments.
तहसीन जी का तो ये है कि वो खुद कांग्रेस को सपोर्ट करते हैं, उनका बस चले तो वो रशिया यूक्रेन केस में भी संघ को लेके आ जाएं, आरएसएस को लेके आ जाए, उनका बस चले तो वो इजराइल और हमास के केस में भी आरएसएस और संघ को लेके आ जाएं। आप ये देखिए, मैं आपको डॉक्यूमेंट दिखा रहा हूं, ये 17 सितंबर को अटैक से पहले एक अकाउंट है डच राजा इंस्टाग्राम पे, उसने स्टोरी शेयर करी, उसमें उन्होंने क्लियरली मेंशन्ड ऑल द डिटेल्स विद डेट एंड टाइम कि हम इस डेट को इस टाइम को एक मीटिंग करेंगे और हम अटैक करेंगे। इस स्टोरी को काफी सारे लोगों ने शेयर किया, और जब मैंने पुलिस को इन्फॉर्म किया कि ये हो रहा है, लेस्टा में अटैक होने वाला है, जस्ट बिफोर द अटैक ओनली, जब मैंने पुलिस को इन्फॉर्म किया तो पुलिस रिप्लाइड ऑन माय ट्वीट एंड उन्होंने कहा कि उसके बारे में उनको पता है, इसके बारे में उनको अवेयरनेस है, लेकिन उसके बाद ये पुलिस ने कुछ नहीं किया।
बट इसके साथ साथ एक हाई कमीशन क्या कर रहा है? आपका
हाई कमीशन कर रहा है, हाई कमीशन ने नोटिस भेज दिया है।
आपके हाई कमिश्नर को आपके डिप्लोमेट्स को वहां जाकर खड़ा रहना चाहिए था।
हर चीज के लिए ब्लेम करते हैं।
मनमोहन सिंह की सरकार होती वहां खड़े रहते हैं।
जो लोग जो इंडियन समय भी देख रहे हैं, आप देख लीजिए, ऐसे लोग हैं कि आप जब फंसेंगे, आपको जब मारेंगे पीटेंगे कुछ लोग, तो ये लोग वहां पे हिंदुत्व लेके आ जाएंगे, वहां पे या आरएसएस बीजेपी लेके आ जाएंगे, पर आपके लिए खड़े नहीं हो पाएंगे ऐसे लोग। देख लीजिए, ऐसे लोग हैं।
बिल्कुल, आपको हिंदुओं पर जो हुआ उससे दिक्कत नहीं है, उससे दिक्कत नहीं है। बट अनिर्बान बैनर्जी, आई वांट टू आस्क यू, आर वी एक्चुअली bringing our own brothers and sisters living abroad to disrepute and exposing them to these kind of dangers because we have such a divisive India back home that they become soft targets when they're living abroad? Straight question to you.
It's those people who buy into the ideology of the RSS BJP, those Hindutva fascist extremists living abroad, they are putting the Indian diaspora at danger. Whether it's the UK, whether it's the Europe, whether it's the Americas, anywhere outside India, it is those people. They are very minuscule in percentage, but their capacity to create notoriety is beyond imagination. I
And-
mean, the
and
exact pattern that
and
has been
Islamist
repeated
terror
in
is
Western, in
fine.
the United Kingdom.
Islamist
We
terror
have
is
seen
fine.
so many
Islamist
times here.
attack on these Hindus
Absolutely
are fine
not.
because
Islamic radicalism is not fine.
so Islamic
Hindutva
radicalism is fine.
No
Hindu
kind of
radicalism is what you
fine.
have a problem with.
No, it's not fine. Both
No,
are not
absolutely
fine.
not.
No,
Both
but
are
when
not fine.
Kind of fanaticism
But
is
what
fine.
is
Who
your
said
Indian High
Islamic
Commission
radicalism?
doing?
Abhijit
Why is it playing
Abhijit
Barbarian?
one minute.
people
Abhijit Iyer
started
Mitra,
this.
Anirban Banerjee has all kinds of words, all kinds of words for the Hindu, for the Hindu radicals, but has no words for the Islamist radicals.
Not Hindu, the Hindutva.
But this is
the
always
Hindutva
been
radicals.
the
No,
case with
Navika.
them.
I
This
said
has always been
Hindutva
the
radicals,
case.
not
Okay,
Hindu.
Hindutva.
Hindu is a religion, Hindutva is an ideology. These are different. They
Yes.
are.
Political Islam is also an ideology.
यार
So
जितने
everybody
इंडियंस रह रहे हैं वहाँ
who
पे
accepts political
सब
Islam
हिंदुत्व वाले ही हैं इनने सर्टिफिकेशन दे दिया
Of course it is.
Anirban, I have
You
a
are
very
right, it
simple
is.
question.
You are right, it is.
Anirban, so everybody belonging to so all political Islam should be banned. Do you agree? According to you, Hindutva is toxic. So
You
political
want
Islam
to
is
ban
also
it, you
toxic.
ban it. That is a different question. I am.
No. So,
If political
so
Islam
if-
should be
if
banned,
political
political
Hinduism
Hindutva
should
should
be
also be banned. Ban
So
ban
political
everything.
Islam should
Ban
be banned.
ban all the religious, political
say it now,
ideology, whatever you want. Ban all. I have no problems with that. I have no problems with that. Ban all
So,
kind
tell
of
me one thing
fanaticism.
then.
Start with the RSS.
So tell me one thing
Start
very
with the
simply
RSS.
then. Why start with the RSS? Political Islam to pehle shuru hua tha na. So let's start there. Now, one very
Who
simple
decides
question.
what pehle
It's
shuru hua?
very
Who decides?
very curious.
Are
So
you
why are
trying to teach us
then why are
chronology
you
here?
deciding? You're the one saying ban the RSS. Huh?
I am not deciding. You started the
you're not.
argument of
You're not
banning,
based to decide
so I am
who
just
wants
giving you a
political
suggestion. Start with the RSS.
Because the BJP
Back
is
home,
going to keep winning
RSS is the
elections. That's a
dominant
different
force.
matter.
Start with it.
But notice the thing here. On one hand, he accepts
BJP
the
will
political
lose.
1 minute, Anirban.
BJP will
Allow
lose. And you will be
our
paid back by
viewers
your
to
own
hear.
coins. Don't
Allow
worry.
our viewers to please hear Abhijit Iyer Mitra also. Mitra friend, please. Banerjee
On
Saab.
one hand, he accepts there is
Sure, he's
political
asking me
Islam and
questions,
there's
that's why I'm
political
responding.
Hinduism. But only political Hinduism is toxic. Political Islam is not toxic. You see, political Islam is the Virgin Mary,
No,
pure
don't
and,
twist my
sitting
words.
atop a lotus
Don't
and
twist
whatnot.
my words,
And
Abhijit. Don't twist my
everything
words. You are free to say whatever you want, but don't twist my
Wrong.
words, please.
Excuse me. I am talking now. I am paraphrasing you. Exactly. Alright, if you wanted to be clear, then you should have been clear instead of going on a rant.
You are twisting
Now,
my
let me
words.
finish.
You are twisting my words.
No, I am not.
You are twisting
I am
my
not.
words with your malicious intention.
Did you
Of
put
course
the
you are.
blame
Of
for
course
this on
you are.
political Hinduism? Did you
I
or did you
gave
not
clean
say?
sheet to no
did you
radicalism,
or
no
did you
fanaticism.
not say
I
that
gave
this is
clean
because
sheet
of
to
RSS
no one.
fascism? Did you or did you not say this is because of Hindutva and RSS fascism? Yes or no?
Sorry?
Did you say that what has happened in Leicester
This
is because
particular
of Hindutva and
incident
RSS?
was initiated by the Hindutva extremists.
There
This
you go.
particular
There
incident
you go.
was initiated
So
by the
that
Hindutva
has
extremists.
to be condemned,
what I am
but
saying.
Islamist
Of course it
fascism, Islamist ideology, Islamist radicalism, that is acceptable to you. And Anshul Saxena, I want to ask you, when
said that?
Indians themselves
who
cannot
said that?
stand up
Who
for
said
their
that? Why are you
brethren
twisting
in
my words,
the
Navika?
UK, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? They
Hindutva
find
extremists are brothers
more
to
of
no
a
one.
problem with
They're enemies.
RSS and
They're
BJP
enemies
than
of
they
the
do
Hindu community
with
abroad.
those who are spreading terror and hate there in Birmingham and Leicester. What do you say to this?
We are actually seeing the exact example of घर का बेदी लंका ढाए. हमारे ही लोग बैठकर इस टाइम हमारे ही लोगों को कोस रहे हैं जिन पर अटैक हो रहा है, जिन पे जगह जगह हमला हो रहा है, 2 जगह हो चुका है. एंड किसी भी केस में all those people who are giving allegations to the against the Hindu community, मुझे एक केस बता दीजिए जहाँ पे हिंदू कम्युनिटी ने किसी पे अटैक किया हो, कोई वीडियो आया हो, कोई फुटेज आया हो. हम तो सारे ऐसी वीडियोस देख रहे हैं जहाँ पे मंदिर में आके किसी ने भगवा ध्वज जला दिया, मंदिर पे आके किसी ने बोतलें फेंकी, वहां पे रिलीजियस चैंट्स लगाए, ये सब चीजें हुई हैं. और एक फेक न्यूज प्लांट की गई कि मस्जिद पर अटैक हुआ है, एंड दिस फेक न्यूज वाज प्लांटेड टू गैदर ऑल द रेडिकल्स टुगेदर टू फाइट अगेंस्ट द हिंदू कम्युनिटी. ये चीजें हो रही हैं. और जो हिंदू community
yes,
है वो basically
you will not call out. You will not call out this
Navika,
deceit
Navika, there's a very
and
important point
this
that
kind of
Anshul,
fake news being used to
Navika,
attack
quickly.
Hindus.
I am
quickly,
saying that
just
it's
one
despicable.
important point.
I am saying it's despicable, and if Abhijit and Anshul did call it out, my limited point is, what is your High Commission and your Raw desk doing?
Abhijit Iyer Mitra. Abhijit Iyer Mitra. All right.
They're absolute incompetent. You accept it.
वो भी भारत की गलती है, वो भी इंडिया की गलती है. हिंदुत्व to be blamed, हिंदुत्व extremists to be blamed. I said हिंदुत्व.
No Hindutva. Mr. BJP, Mr. Modi and the BJP.
All right.
They're incompetent.
Abhishek, respond to.
BJP and Modi is also responsible for India and Ukraine crisis. They are also responsible for the Israel and Hamas
debate.
Well,
Tessin bhai ठीक है. Tessin bhai ठीक है.
Your arguments are meaningful. Your arguments are meaningful, and Anshul's arguments are not meaningful. Well, you know, 1 minute. All faders down. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, last word.
Very important point that Anshul made was, remember, Britain is the most surveilled society on earth. There are more cameras per capita, public police cameras per capita, than any other country on earth. And remember, Britain is not a third world country where mobile phone ownership is low. Yet this whole charade of a Hindu attack on a mosque, how is it so surprising that not one public camera captured it, not one mobile phone captured it, but people are saying that there was this attack. Whereas all the Muslim attacks on Hindu temples are all documented.
Exactly, because there is an environment that is created that points fingers at Hindus, the Hinduphobia that exists, that is being transmitted, which is why you don't see any evidence of Hindus attacking any religious institution of any religion. But look at what is happening to Hindus in UK, and complete silence, and in fact cover fire from the opposition onto the Hindutva brigade and that ideology. Not one word for the Islamist hate that is being spread. Well, that is the situation of support even for our own living in the UK from the domestic opposition parties, and a lobby that thinks that everything that is happening in India since 2014 is what is bringing disrepute not just to India but Indians worldwide. Think about it. Thank you very much to my panelists joining me on the Newshour tonight. Good night, be safe viewers, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, the same show, the Newshour at 9.